I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm doing really well. I have another amazing episode for you. And this one is, I feel like a forever topic that I always get with my clients. And I coach on this topic all the time. And I really wanted to put this out there and explain some of my rationale around it. I think a lot of times the way that I think about things can be so helpful to all of you, being able to just test out my thoughts, try them on for yourselves. And I think that this is truly one of the best ones for all of you out there who are building your businesses. So here's what I want to say to all of you. There are no flukes in business. So let's just dig a grave and put fluke inside and bury it, and now it's gone forever. We're saying goodbye to the idea of flukes being a thing. So let's talk about why there are no flukes. I always have clients who will have some success in their business, and they will try to then convince me that it was a fluke. They will try to convince me that they had nothing to do with it. It just happened to them. They just got lucky. It just randomly happened. This is not a thing. This doesn't actually happen in business. This isn't happening to you. And I always say to my clients, before you started a business, how many times did somebody come to your house and knock on the door and just ask to give you money? Just ask to hire you or get your help and want to pay you for it? Probably not very often. I know it never happened to me. No one ever asked to pay me for coaching before I was out there selling coaching. So because of that, we know there aren't flukes. Things don't just happen to us. A successful business doesn't just happen to most people. Okay? Probably it didn't just happen to any of you who are listening. It didn't just happen to me. I created it. And when you try to diminish your success by calling it a fluke, you actually make it less likely that you're going to have success again. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about if you did something like planting a garden. Let's say in the spring you planted a garden. In the fall, it was harvest time. It was amazing. You got all this incredible stuff, fruit and vegetables from your garden, and you said that was a fluke. If you fully believed it was a fluke, what do you think you're going to do next year when it comes to your garden? You may not plant anything. If you do plant things, you may not take care of it. You may not water it. You may not make it a priority. You're going to make it less likely that you're going to have the same harvest that you did before. I said this to a client recently, and it entertained me when I said it, which sometimes happens. Sometimes I say something and I just internally chuckle because I'm like, that was so entertaining. But she was talking about how her success was a fluke. She created a big month in her business and she was trying to not take credit for it. And I was telling her this was like someone who was in the Olympics and got the gold medal being like, it was a fluke. And I was telling her, no, obviously not. We would never let that person say it was a fluke. We would be like, no, you've been working your entire life for that. You've put so much in to creating that. And it's the same with my clients. It's the same with all of you. The success that you achieve is because of the work you put in, not because of anything else. And when you try to sell yourself short, when you try to diminish your achievements as a fluke, it's like stomping all over your accomplishments and what you've achieved and the work that you put in. So of course your brain wouldn't want to put more in. Like imagine if you diminished somebody else's accomplishment. Like truly imagine this. Your child accomplishes something amazing. They got an A on a test. They scored the winning goal of the game. They mastered a really hard piece on the instrument that they play, and you tell them it was a fluke. How terrible do you feel right now? I felt terrible thinking of these examples and thinking of someone actually telling their child it was a fluke. This is literally exactly what you are doing to yourself in your business when you have any success whatsoever and you call it a fluke. I have no tolerance for this. Like, I don't know if you can tell, I'm like getting agitated over here and worked up about this because you have to stop doing this to yourself. Truly. It is so harmful. It's harmful for your self-esteem and your confidence. It's harmful for the future results that you want to create in your business. There is no good reason to ever say that anything you've accomplished and created is a fluke. Erase it from your vocabulary right now. So here's the flip side of calling something a fluke. The flip side is taking full responsibility. And this is something that I teach to all of my clients in both programs, in Mama to CEO and Simple Scaling Mastermind. I teach this, and it is a core premise of both of my programs because this is the most important thing in your business to see how you create your results. Whether they are results you love and want to keep creating or results that you didn't really like and don't want to create again, you need to understand how you create them so you can either repeat it or change it. And when it's a fluke, when it's something outside of you, when it just happened to you, you have no power to repeat it or to stop doing it. Do you see how important this is? This is so, so important. So I really want you, anytime you have any kind of success, I want you to look at how specifically did I create that? What was I thinking? What was I feeling? What specifically did I do that all led towards me creating this result? You know how to create every result you've created if you look, if you see what's there. I'm sure you've heard this quote, success leaves clues. It's true. I think a lot of times the context of success leaves clues is other people, like look at what other people have done. I want you to look at your own success and look at the clues. Look at how you created that success. And then I want you to look at the things that you don't like. Maybe you didn't book any discovery calls. Maybe you made $0. Or maybe you just fell short of your goal. You didn't make as much as you want to. I want you to look at how specifically did I do that? Not to feel bad, because there's no point in beating yourself up over a failure or a disappointment, but to look at that and to learn from it. How specifically did I do that so I can make sure I don't do that again? So I can look at what do I think needs to change? What do I think I need to do differently next time so that I could get a different result? This is literally what business is. Like you want to talk about how to make 5K months. You want to talk about how to make $1 million. This is how you do it. looking at what you've done that you liked and figuring out what you did so you can repeat it or what you can tweak to scale it, and looking at what you did that you didn't like and figuring out what needs to change so I can stop doing that. This is literally what you need to know about business. Like this concept right here. Take responsibility for the results you have created. It will give you more power to make money than almost anything else. And when I talk about creating demand, this is like a huge premise in both of my programs, creating demand. This is inspiring desire in other people to buy what you offer. That comes from this. Understanding how you create demand comes from taking full responsibility from your results. This is how you do it. This is how you grow. This is how you make more money. This is how you accomplish everything that I have accomplished in my business. It's throwing the idea of a fluke in the trash and taking responsibility for every result you create in your business and figuring out how you did every single thing so you can repeat it or change it. All right? All right. I think I have probably scared you all away from Fluke. And mission accomplished. I am glad that I got to come on here and rant a little bit. So anytime you ever tell yourself again, it was a fluke, turn on this little rant and I will set you straight. All right, I will talk to you again next week. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you, and there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com. mamatoceo.com.